And
Yeah.
Jack, I mean, he's very, very sweet until you're in the bedroom, and then he's definitely not sweet.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, he's just, I think he might be the perfect man.
Hi, Ren. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Book Besties Club podcast. It's so lovely to have you here. Do you want to just start off by telling us a little bit more about you?
Thank you for having me. Hi, I'm Wren Willoughby. I'm a British author originally from Newcastle upon Tyne, but definitely not living there now. Um, I am an author of contemporary feisty romances.
Mhm.
Just about to release my second book in the first ever series, and yeah, I've gone into my groove. I like it. This is fun.
Oh, exciting. So tell us a little bit more then about your journey as an author. Have you always wanted to write? Have you always wanted to be an author? Or is it just something you just sort of fell into?
So I was always creative. I went to uni and did a drama degree.
Oh.
So yeah, that was rogue of me. So when I went to uni, I loved the creativity and I loved the like stage directions, the creating a play, but I didn't, yeah, I liked the acting, but it wasn't the thing for me. And I definitely didn't want to go into into a job where you couldn't guarantee where your income would be coming from,
Yeah.
not in a permanent job basis. I need an income.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just any creativity sort of fell by the wayside in my 20s while I just tried to survive as an adult. Um, and then in 2023, I think it was June of 2023, I got my first Kindle. And that's where it all went downhill because I fell into spicy romances and couldn't get out. And then in August 2024, I had a really vivid dream. I was I was on Bookstagram. I wouldn't say I was like the best Bookstagrammer in the world, but I became aware of indie authors and made friends with a few, and they sort of inspired me a little bit. I
Mm.
don't think I intentionally was inspired, but there was something clearly happening in the background because I had a dream that just couldn't go away for
Yeah.
about a week, and it's all I could think about. And then I spoke to one of these authors, and she was like, "Just get it down, write it, because it could be brilliant." I mean, the book turned out no different, like completely differently to the rest of it, but
Yeah.
the basic dream was still there, and that's how Haven was born. I released Haven July last year, and now I'm
Yeah.
obsessed. And now I'm releasing Roots in 12 days. Ah,
Wow. Oh my
so yeah.
gosh. That is so exciting though, and so interesting that it came from a dream. And I know
Mm.
obviously you said then that it's developed a lot since then. What was that initial dream and how has it developed and grown into
I
Haven?
Ooh, what was it? I think it was something to do with an older guy because apparently, and it would be evident based on my Goodreads that I love an age gap. Um,
Yeah.
so it was an older guy supporting a much younger girl, maybe his assistant. I think it was them sharing a bed together just to comfort her, and it just felt like that was a really vivid. I could picture it like
Mm.
as if I was doing it on stage, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that definitely stayed in the book. Um, but very little else did. I think what I've discovered is when I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with a really vivid image of a chapter or a scene or a situation, that is always what stays in the book.
Yeah. Oh,
Very,
that's so interesting.
I know, they're all my best bits. I'm not saying, look, people can say what they want about the books, but I think the best bits are always from my dreams that have woken me
Mm.
up. And I'm like, if I don't write that down, that'll get forgotten
Yeah.
about. And I need that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But now I love it, and I can't, like, I'm planning for it. It's given me a drive that
Yeah.
not that I didn't have before, but I think I'm an overthinker and a daydreamer, so it's given me somewhere
Mm.
to place that energy, you know?
Yeah, of course. Well, tell us then, what is Haven all about?
Well, so you can get Haven in hardback and in paperback, so it's
Oh.
really attractive. They look completely different. And it follows Jack, who is a 47-year-old co-CEO of like a real estate business, and he has a monumental crush on his assistant. And she's hiding secrets that nobody really knows about. But she's unfortunately in a abusive relationship. So every time she goes home, she is dragging her heels to get there. It's just not. I won't lie. There are on-page scenes of domestic violence, and it is. I'd say the first 15 to 20 chapters could be difficult for some readers. So I do recommend checking the triggers.
Yeah.
But once you get through those, there is such a nice story about healing, about deserving better than you've received, not even finding a family, but finding the right people that will set you free from sort of your demons. And obviously they fall in love
Yeah, of course. Spoiler.
because I like a happy ending. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be that cruel, but yeah. So it's
Yeah.
I would say any books that I have written or I'm going to write are traumatic with a
Yeah.
side of love.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. That's so interesting. So obviously you said that the initial idea came from a dream of them being in bed together and that's what stayed in the book. But where did the inspiration come for all the other parts then with like the domestic violence and the trauma and, you know, the age gap and everything like that? Where did that spring?
I have always loved age gap relationship books.
Mhm.
I will say I always say I'm in an age gap relationship and I'm not. It's only 4 years, but I'm like, it's age gap.
It is a little one, but it's there. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about a silver fox in a suit that is always perfect for me. I have you ever read Sophie Snow's books?
No, I haven't.
No, so
No.
she's got a book called Legally Binding where there's a much bigger age gap than in Haven, and
Mm.
he is a silver fox in a suit, and I was like, that's my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I always I think a lot of my books will be age gap, but that's just because I can't help it. I love a little bit of an older man. The domestic violence, I've always worked in, well, for the past 7 or 8 years, I've worked in like social care sort of jobs
Yeah.
in my real life. So unfortunately, there's a lot of that going on. And I think although the book is devastating and it's heartbreaking and there's a lot of horrible moments in it, I think it's nice to live in a little bit of fantasy where maybe you can escape and fall in love with your really hot boss. And
Yeah.
it's unlikely to happen. I'm well aware it doesn't always happen like that, but it's I think books are somewhere that you escape to for a dream and a fantasy and an ideal world. And personally, if I was in that situation, I'd quite like that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's an ideal, but I'm well aware it's not realistic. So
Yeah. No, I don't think you're the only one though that would jump at that chance
no.
if they were offered it.
Yeah.
But going back to the domestic violence then, how difficult was that to write? I know you said your background comes with working with people who were going through similar situations. Did you have to do any additional research or what was the impact of like that on you as a person? Because it must be a
Yeah.
lot to have to write about that.
I hate to say it, there wasn't much research in terms of the actual violence
Yeah.
and behavior. That sounds bad to say, but I would say the things that writing, there's this very particular chapter that if anybody's read it, they'll know what I mean. That took probably the best part of a month to write because I
Mm.
can't write out of chronological order, so
Yeah.
that if I get stuck, I'm stuck. Like
Mm.
the book might not come out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it took me a best part of a month to write, and once I got through it, it was a lot easier. Um, yeah, I would say that was the only real challenge.
Mm.
Not a spoiler. Willow, instead of taking therapy, which absolutely is an option, she decides she needs something more physical. So goes for self-defense classes. That needed research because I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to
Yeah.
self-defense classes and the movement and where limbs are and bodies, and I don't know anything about that. So I think that and a lot of the sort of night terrors, I had to be not even careful, but when writing it, she's got a lot of triggers and things that
Yeah.
might be small to someone, but being called Little Willow and stuff like that is a trigger for her. And remembering that throughout, it was hard to maintain and keep hold of all the things that could be a trigger, if that makes sense. Ended up having to write them all down in a list.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people do that nowadays, don't they? Most books like that come with trigger warnings at the front just to let people know what
Yeah.
they're expecting. Tell us a little bit more about Willow as a character then, and how she developed and where the inspiration for her came from.
Willow, although she has a very rough start to the book, I always refer to her as like the person I would love to be.
Mm,
Saying I'm in her situation at all, but I would love to be, by the end of her book, I would love to be as confident as she is.
yeah.
Although she has an awful lot to contend with and battle, she is able to, by the end, stand up for herself and
Mm,
put people in their place and say what she wants and what she doesn't want. And I think as real people, as women, it's quite hard to get that confidence.
yeah.
So there's little snippets of Willow in me and me and
Mm.
Willow, but like her tea order. But there's I would love I think she's the girl I would love to become, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. On the flip side, then, tell us a little bit more about your male main character and what that process was like of writing him.
Jack he's a single dad, but of an older daughter. So
Mhm,
Fran is 22 when we meet her.
mhm.
Jack is the dad we all deserve. He is the perfect dad. And yeah, I think such a healing person to write, read, love in my own little brain.
Yeah.
I keep writing when I want to write, but I'm like maybe stuck in my in the one I'm writing. I love going back and writing Jack and Willow chapters, just that may not even see the light of day because
Yeah.
they're such a safe, perfect pair. And
Yeah.
Jack, I mean, he's very, very sweet until you're in the bedroom, and then he's definitely not sweet.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he might be the perfect man,
Oh my
but
gosh.
both of them are they are flawed, and
Mm,
they're not pretending that they're not. You know what I
mm.
mean? Jack says the wrong things, and Willow reacts to things in the wrong way, and they work through it. But I think what I wanted to do with that was, I think it's really easy for romance books or any book to gloss over the fact that you really piss each other off. You really annoy each other sometimes, and that's what happens in real life. And we can't get away from it. But if you're wanting to, you'll work through it.
Yeah.
So like there are a few bickers, but it's never a major breakup. It's never
Yeah.
a explosion. It's just like you've annoyed me. I need time. Just
Yeah.
go away. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's so interesting because you do find a lot, like you were saying, in romance books. My worst trope that I hate more than anything is the miscommunication trope. That is the worst. I would rather. Oh, are you telling me there's a miscommunication trope in your book, Wren? Oh my God.
Not really. Not really. Less miscommunication, more just they misunderstand each other.
Yeah, that's fair
Not
enough.
so much the communication, more the like
Yeah.
intentions were off.
Okay.
So now you're safe.
That's not too bad then. But I love that you have done it so it reflects real life, because there are some romance books that are just very unrealistic and
Yeah.
they like break up over everything. And that doesn't happen in real life, and it's
Nope.
unrealistic. And I love that you've done it differently. And it sounds to me like you've written your perfect man in your own book. And I
Which
think
is a
that's
challenge when it's the first book.
exactly what.
So-
Where are you going to go from here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's such a unrealistic aspect of, you'll fall out of an abusive relationship and into a perfect one.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic. So I wanted a balance of reality with normal arguments and
yeah.
normal bickers and people having flaws, and
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
stupid sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it sounds like they've got a realistic relationship, which I think needs to be a lot more present in romance books, especially. And, I think it's important that they are representative of what probably my relationship's like, or your relationship's like, or anyone who's reading, so that people
Yeah.
aren't getting unrealistic expectations. Like you said, you can't just leave a domestic violence relationship and then fall into the perfect relationship. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Going to the spice then, how is it writing that? Because reading that for me is very much like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So how was that actually having to write it?
I just ask me at the right time of the month. But no, sometimes I think I find it in general the hardest to write, but the easiest to edit.
Yeah.
Like writing it, I'm like, what's where?
Yeah.
What? Like there's only if it feels sometimes like there's only so many ways to say a certain action or
Yeah.
a certain feeling, and
Mhm.
there aren't an infinite words in the dictionary, aren't there? So,
Yeah.
yeah, but once I've written it, it's done. As I say, I can't write out of order, so I can't be one of those authors that's like, add this spicy scene here.
Yeah.
It's got to be done now or
Yeah.
never.
Wow.
But when it's done and I do eventually go back to edit it, I think it's like a second set of eyes. I now know what I want to explain and how I want it to feel. So it's a
Yeah.
lot easier. It's almost like when I'm editing it, I'm reading it as a reader, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I can picture what I want to see in my head when I'm re editing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like you've got a really interesting process of writing, though. Like you said, you have to do everything there and then in chronological order. I imagine that makes it quite difficult, though, at
Yeah.
times, like you said, when you get writer's block. How do you sort of push through that then and actually get it done?
Time.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing myself to have like a book that's due out next month and I'm still writing it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, um, yeah, usually I've got a few months after finishing it to sort of fiddle around with the book.
Yeah.
So if I do have, like in Haven, there was the difficult chapter. If I do have a month off it, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But if Spice doesn't take a month,
Yeah.
but like 2 or 3 days, it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And usually I find that it comes, if I don't know what's going to happen, even out of Spice, if I don't know what's going to happen, it'll come to me in a few days. I think the first book, I was like, oh no, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh no, this book's never going to come out. Now I've done the second one and I'm writing more. I'm like, yeah, it'll come to me. It's fine.
Yeah.
No rush. It's okay.
It sounds like you're more of a pantser than a planner then. Is that,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely no
That's it.
control here.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't really, do you have any like sort of general themes and stuff that you want to get in, but then you just like wing it
Yeah.
as you write it? Is that right?
Yeah, I know what's happening
Yeah.
generally in every book, but then yeah, the moment comes. With Roots, the second book, something that happens towards the end was literally it. That
Yeah.
happened in the moment. It didn't happen.
Wow.
It wasn't planned. And I do
Yeah.
think it was the best decision I could have made for that.
Yeah, definitely. Do you say then that, because I know a lot of other authors that I've spoken to have said that their characters sort of take on a life of their own. Did you find that when you were writing? What was that like?
Yeah, I think especially with sort of the heavier moods and topics, maybe not the topics, but the moods and feelings, sometimes I do get a little bit like weighed down with them. So yeah, I guess, especially writing Roots, I think I probably felt like as cheery as they did in some parts. So
Yeah.
it is when I'm writing it about them, it is all I can think about. I am probably the
Yeah.
most annoying person to live with. But yeah, they're all I can think of. But yeah, I have a heavy notes app in my phone.
Same. Yeah, and I'm not even an author, and my notes app is insane. So yeah, I can't even imagine what it must be like.
Yeah.
How do you detach yourself then, or is it just something that you haven't figured out yet, and you're hoping will come to you?
Not yet. No, that's just a lie. I think I used to be any second of the day and push myself until basically I go to bed outside of working hours. But now I think if I'm not feeling it, that's okay. I won't do
Yeah.
it. I'm allowing myself a break. I tell you what I do, or for an author wise, not so much a writing perspective. I don't have like any of the report access to see if people are reading on my phone
Oh,
because
really?
I am obsessive and I
Yeah.
will be checking. So I can only look at it when I'm on my laptop.
Yeah.
So I stripping it all away from my phone has given me a detachment. So
Yeah, I
that
don't
being said,
blame you.
I've got all the books accessible on my phone to write.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could still keep going with that, but
Yeah, of
not
course.
the. It's more the like, oh, people. I think the problem I have is less the creative writing, more the, oh my God, are people wanting it? Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
of
the bit
course. Yeah.
I struggle to detach with because you've pumped so much money, time, and energy into this that you just hope and cling to the hope that everybody's reading it.
Well, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about marketing and getting your book out there and reader perception later on, but tell us a little bit about Roots then. Is it a series? Is it,
Yes,
yeah,
it's an interconnecting standalone series, so
yeah.
everybody's in the background if everybody else is. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've got Roots. It came yesterday and I love it. It's
Oh,
so
amazing.
much thicker books.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
floppy as well? I love a good floppy book.
yeah.
Yes, we love a floppy
We do
book.
love a fluffy book.
Yes.
And I'll see if I can find them. The chapter headers are really pretty. We've got a pair of glasses in water.
Oh,
Don't know
that's
if you
so
can see that.
cool.
And then we've got wisteria on that one.
Oh,
Little,
no way. Who
yeah.
designed that for you then? Who thought of
Um,
that?
a fellow author friend,
Oh, no way.
Kenzie Studios, I think it is. She did those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, Roots is due out in 12 days. It's about Jack's daughter, Fran,
Mm-hmm.
and her childhood ex best friend, Gabe.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, it's workplace.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh God, what is it? It's got mental health representation.
Yeah.
Um, he's a reformed playboy. She's a virgin. Um, he's on a sex ban. Um, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I would recommend anybody to read Haven, not just because it's my own book, but because stuff that happens at the end of Haven does impact the start of Roots and
Okay.
stuff that goes on with
Yeah.
Fran. Fran is struggling, like
Mm.
struggling. Him mum has, well, she hasn't had a mum around for 11 years,
Yeah.
12-ish years, I think, by this book. She died from a silent heart attack. So
No way.
she's grieving her mum. She's
Yeah.
grieving the loss of Gabe, dot,
Mm.
dot, dot. And she's struggling from things that happened at the end of Haven.
Yeah.
So it's like blow after blow after blow for her.
Yeah.
She's sort of floating through life, not coping very well, but not letting anybody help her to cope. And then she walks into her new job at her dad's business, where she'll be an interior designer, and Gabe is there. And she never, although she knew they lived across the road from each other as kids, I don't think she ever thought she'd see him again. And he's hot.
Well, that's the main thing. How different was it writing this then, writing Roots than it was writing Haven?
I think I'm not saying I have found my author's voice because with two books I don't feel like maybe I've done it, but I think it was a lot easier in terms of I know how I want to write and what I want to sound like.
Yeah.
It was the same, easier. I guess my process I trust more. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah.
What was the inspiration behind it then?
I think it was a lot easier once I'd done Haven and knew what that was going to do.
Yeah.
But Roots, everybody that read Haven wanted Fran to get with someone else, but there was it wasn't negotiable. Fran needed
Yeah.
to get with her like childhood best friend.
Yeah.
They have got their friendship sort of. He's got two older brothers. He's the youngest and was an accident, and like he's kind of the joke of the family.
Yeah.
And she's the only child of a very loving but very sort of sad family.
Yeah.
And it just felt inevitable that they
Yeah.
had to be together. And I'm not saying that you need a relationship to fix all your problems because that's unrealistic, but I think his personality, his love and affection for her, it sort of
Yeah.
that's what helps her
Yeah,
along the way.
definitely. Yeah.
Um, and there's nobody else that could really fit that bill.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, even though you wanted somebody else.
Well, it's your decision, it's your
It
book.
is my
So
book, guys.
I'm sure they'll enjoy it either way. What made you decide to do it as an interconnected standalone series then?
I think the characters was too lovable not to want to keep going with them.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I would say Fran and Gabe's book was the hardest to know what was going to happen.
Mm.
Like with Haven, I knew, even though I don't plan, I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know the little chapters in between, but I knew the big
Yeah.
boulders of like planning.
Yeah.
Them didn't have a clue. Um, they just had to
Well,
get together, and that was the start of the book, and somewhere in between of
yeah.
them getting together was the goal.
Yeah.
Whereas the other few books, um, there is a I know exactly what needs to
Yeah.
happen for them. So yeah, didn't have a clue with this one.
Wow. That must have been interesting.
Terrifying. Yeah, terrifying.
Well,
Um,
what are the others then? How many more are you planning?
2.5. So
Okay.
the last one will be a novella,
Yeah.
and the next two will be full length books.
Yeah.
Hopefully not quite so long as Roots, but full length, and we'll see who they're. I know who they're about.
Yeah.
But yeah, this like Jack and Willow, they were in my brain from the beginning, and then
Mhm.
these extra people in their lives were created,
Yeah.
like Fran, and I don't even think Gabe existed at the start, but Fran came because Jack couldn't be just a man on his own. He had to have this. He's such a girl dad.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. There's no way he could have a son.
Yeah.
He's such a girl dad with so much affection and love, and he's so proud and so full of love for his daughter
Yeah.
that she had to have a book. And she felt like such a wounded, tortured soul that only
Yeah.
one person in the world could ever fix it for her or
Yeah.
help her through it. So then Gabe, who is coincidentally Jack's best friend, who also co-owns his business, his youngest son. And it's sort of like they're all connected because Jack is the godfather of all three sons. Fran is Mike's goddaughter. So I mean, it might seem a bit incestuous, but I promise it's not.
Yeah.
So it just felt like that. They're both born on the same day. They're F and G. They're across the road from each other. They have to be together.
Yeah.
Stars crossed kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it all sounds really interesting and really clever how you've planned it all out and made sure that they're all interconnected in that way. I don't know if that would be harder than doing just a regular series. What do you think?
I think in terms of mentioning little weird things that
Yeah.
nobody else will notice until like 3 books later,
Yeah.
or yeah, I think I would struggle with this standalone because I'd be like, oh, that character looks great. Let's play with them.
Yeah.
I haven't ever done a standalone. I don't intend to for quite a while.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I am loving doing series.
Yeah.
There's a treat for you. There's definitely more than one in the happening right now. So
Oh, exciting. Well, focusing on this series, what has it been like in terms of getting your book out there and marketing it and getting people to read it? What has that whole process been like as an indie self-published author?
at first, I think it was a case of everybody that knew me.
Yeah.
Um, thanks, guys. And then it's sort of, I am lucky, touch wood, in the sense that I haven't ever had a month where nobody's read it,
Yeah.
nobody's like it's had someone have their eyes on it every time.
Yeah.
So I am lucky and very, very grateful for every
Yeah.
reader that's done that. But I would say it was, and I attended an event in February in Liverpool. That went well.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say that it was probably mid-February where figured out. I figured out. I got assistance from another author how
Yeah.
to use cryo reels on Instagram,
Yeah.
and then it's gone wild ever since then. Like good
Wow.
wild. So I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has been a lot of love for Haven, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of love for Roots because I am marketing that through
Yeah.
trial reels and stuff, and TikTok and Facebook. YouTube not so much because apparently YouTube doesn't like spice. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so I got put in YouTube jail. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's going really well because of trial reels, and now I'm kind of scared that if I stopped for like a holiday or a break, that would just drop off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I paused, so would reading. So now I'm like
Yeah. Of
gonna.
course. Yeah.
Whoops.
Well,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to other authors then marketing their books? Because most authors that I talk to say that they really struggle with marketing. So, what would your advice be to someone who is struggling to get their book in front of the right people?
I would say you don't need character art for one. You
Yeah.
don't need it. You it's good to have it. There are artists, although I know we live in the AI era, and I am very anti-AI.
Yeah. So,
Although we live in that era, there are good artists out there
yeah.
that aren't extortionate and
Mhm.
can even just, like the standalone images of characters.
Yeah.
They can do those for you, and good quality and like some of them are slightly quirky and different. And I would say Threads although, no social media is great for social
Yeah.
media purposes, but Threads has been the best for me to find
Wow.
people that help with covers or artists,
Yeah.
making friends with other authors.
Mm.
Like this is a very unique job. Like it is very isolating if you let it.
Mhm.
So I would say that talking to other authors,
Mm.
the the girl that did the chapter headers, she's an author. So
Yeah.
like making those connections mainly with readers, but with authors as well.
Yeah,
That I
definitely.
would say that's invaluable because I have nothing to swap like skill wise. So
Yeah.
if you do, then you could if one person sort of does alpha reading or beta reading, you can swap that for maybe chapter headers, for example.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a useless person to swap with. So, um,
You've got advice and experience, which is just as valuable as
yeah.
anything else. Because what you said about Threads, nobody has said that so far.
Oh,
Nobody
really? Oh, no,
has
I
said
love
that at
Threads.
all. So there you go. That's your advice right there.
I
That's
would say a
valuable.
couple of weeks ago, I was like in search of a new artist because I think mine's on some kind of annual leave or something.
Yeah.
And there and people will as soon as like that's seen, people will flock to your
Yeah.
comments. And yes, you'll get the wrong ones, and some people will message you directly, but on the whole, there'll be some really good options. So
Yeah.
even if you didn't put that post out there, but you went in search of other people's requests, there's
Yeah.
always someone. I would say I've got some covers in the pipeline that I found through Threads,
Yeah.
and I fell in love with them and had to have them. And a cover doesn't have to be. There are some brilliant artists that are thousands of pounds or dollars, and they're amazing, brilliant. That's not everybody's budget. There
Yeah.
are some amazing ones for 50 quid that
Yeah.
you can use. And, if you wanted to change them further down the line for a special edition, you can do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's as much as it sounds like a really expensive hobby, and it has been. Like editing, I
Yeah.
would say, is the biggest cost. But there are some ways. I'm not going to say cut corners because don't go cutting corners, AI or Pinterest routes. But um, in terms of like searching for the right vibe,
Mm.
there are routes that don't have to happen. Routes. There are some routes you could go down that aren't too expensive and do
Yeah.
fit your budget.
Yeah.
I would also say Canva Pro is your
Mm.
best friend for
Yeah.
any author. Um, yeah, unfortunately, that's one thing I'll just never let go. You'll have to pry out from my cold dead hands. Um, but find your vibe. Like I found my fonts, and Haven is bright green, and Roots is purple. Find the vibe and the colours that you want to go with, and run with it.
Yeah.
Um, and have fun. Not every book has to be. Not every post even has to be sell, sell, sell. It can be like, look what she's written in a notepad today. Like, look at her stressing, or this is what my characters have taken from my
Yeah.
personality. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I love
It's
that.
fun.
Well, see, you've got really good, valuable advice, and I think a lot of other authors would really appreciate that. How have you found the journey on Book Talk so far? Because I know obviously that's where you found me. So, what's that been like?
It's scary.
Yeah.
As an author, it's scarier.
Mm,
It's because I think as a book talker, you're looking at it from the perspective of here's loads of other people
yeah.
that are wanting to read like me,
Yeah.
where that's been my experience of Instagram. Authors that's the main platform for authors,
Yeah.
I would say. So that's where we all hide safely.
Yeah.
And TikTok, I feel like all I'm doing is throwing my like reels,
Yeah.
like cycled reels, and just putting them up with quotes from the book. That's basically my usage of TikTok. And
Yeah.
I do feel a bit. It is slowly growing,
Mm,
slowly but surely. It's a lot slower than Instagram.
yeah.
Um, and I think I have not even intentionally, there's just less engagement there. I don't know whether people think I'm just a faceless account that like,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, but there is only so many places I can put my energy into.
Yeah,
So unfortunately,
exactly.
TikTok is getting slightly less than like Instagram. So my majority of my personality is there.
Yeah, I think Instagram and TikTok are so differently as well. Like I'm the opposite. I do much better on TikTok than I do on Instagram, which is
Yeah,
really interesting. Um, but I think for me, TikTok is more like this, just conversational, chatting
yeah,
about things, whereas Instagram's a little bit more like for your aesthetic stuff, like your book
yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think that's the difference. But I think both of them are just as valuable. And if you're doing well on Instagram and that's helping you, then, do you
Yeah,
really
and I
need to
think
even
with
utilize it
Instagram,
as
with
much?
Instagram, you can have your like perfect feed, but then you can separate your feed from your reels. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
you can't really do that with TikTok.
yeah, that's true.
So like I can have the chaotic level of reels that I do,
Yeah,
but nobody, yes, they'll show up on people's feeds, hopefully, if the algorithm treats me right.
yeah,
Um, but aesthetically, there can be two separate things. Do you know what I mean? And then I can just drive the reels over to TikTok. So that I mean, everywhere has a purpose. I think for a while I was struggling with TikTok because I didn't know what was working for me, and now that I've clocked onto my reels working, they're now also working on TikTok.
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's true.
So, but the problem is there's no go-to right answer for every author.
No,
So,
there isn't. No,
like, or
exactly.
even any creator. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's finding what works for you. And
yeah.
TikTok might be better for some people than
Yeah,
me.
definitely. What would you say then has been the best part of this experience overall? What's the feedback been like for the books that you've released
Um,
so far?
I think the thing that overwhelms me a little bit, and it's really when I'm worrying about like, are people buying or reading my books
Yeah,
and getting an income? It's really easy to lose sight of the fact that people are reading my books and
yeah,
connecting with, especially the book that's out with a domestic violence storyline. It's amazing,
yeah,
but it equally makes me sad that that's a reality somewhere. And there's been a significant amount of people that have read it and gone, "Yeah, I relate to that," and they've messaged
yeah,
me. And I I love that. I love that I've created that for someone.
yeah,
Also hate that that has to be the case. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, and currently Roots arcs are out, so there's been people relating to like grief and mental
yeah,
health struggles, and I would say that's the best and the worst bit because I wish people didn't have to relate,
mm,
but how amazing that I've been able to
yeah,
create something that's relatable.
yeah,
Um, I think the other thing is, and my husband does have to remind me of this every so often, like, what have I written them for? Have I written them to earn thousands and thousands of pounds of
yeah,
money? That would be lovely.
yeah,
That's not why I've done it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I've written them because I love them and they make me happy. So even if I do get a one-star review, that's fine. If
yeah,
it's not, it's fine.
yeah, I know what
It's
you
for
mean.
they are written for me, and making me happy. And if they can connect me with readers who feel something when they read my books, then that's even better.
Yeah, of course. Well, what I normally do now, towards the end of the session, is I will ask whoever I'm with to give us a elevator pitch for their book. So if you could persuade anyone listening right now to pick up one of your books in a couple of sentences, go for it.
Haven, if you like age gap, if you like a really good dad figure
Mm.
and somebody that makes your heart burst whenever you read them, if you like a struggle but with healing, this one's for you. And love spice, this one is definitely for you.
No.
If you want to see somebody come out at the end of a really difficult few years and fall in love with the life they deserved, then Roots is also for you.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like it's for me, so I'm definitely going. I'm
Thanks.
picking it up. And I was actually looking before we joined, and you've got loads of positive reviews.
It's going all right. I'm
Really
not gonna,
good.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be negativity, so we're just going to push that out.
Exactly.
But
Ignore
yeah, I'm
those.
glad.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm surprised that like I created that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because I know I've done it, but
I know what you mean, though.
I don't have to love it. So, yeah, I can't believe I've done it, and this is the world I'm creating, and now I've turned it into a small business, and
Yeah. That's
I'm an adult.
amazing. Yeah, you're an adult. I love that. Well, what I also do at the end of every podcast is I will ask whoever I'm with to answer some quick fire questions. So it could be this or that, or short answers, all to do with them as a reader. Do you want
Yes.
to give them a go?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is, do you prefer a Kindle or a physical copy?
Kindle.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have enough space in my house for real copies. So Kindles, if it's a book I adore that much, it's staying on the Kindle for life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And that comes with me wherever I go.
Yeah, same. I do love a physical book. I love my book trophies, but also at the same time, like I read more on my Kindle than I do a physical
100%.
copy.
And I feel like you go on holiday, it's a lot harder to carry a book. Yeah.
It is.
What do we do with them before?
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Would you say that audiobooks count towards books that you've read and you're reading go?
100%.
Yeah.
Especially like people that say they aren't factoring in people that can't necessarily read or
Nope.
access books. So
Nope.
100%, read how you need to read. If that has to be through audio, podcasts, whatever it is, it counts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
As
funny
long
you
as
say
it's
that because
pirated, it's fine.
yeah, exactly. I followed a girl on Book Talk literally like yesterday, and she's registered blind, so she can only listen to audiobooks. She collects physical copies as like book trophies, like we all do, but she can only read through audiobooks. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, there you go. Are you saying that she's not reading at all if you don't agree with audiobooks? Like,
I think that statement or
Slim.
statements like that are so restrictive, and you're isolating a huge portion of the population. Even
Exactly.
people that aren't blind but just can't read,
Yeah.
they never got educated. They can listen and they can feel
Yeah.
things through. They can hear music, so they can still
Exactly.
feel that way. So
Yeah,
it's such a restrictive perspective to have. So
100%. I agree. Do you prefer series or standalone?
series.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, it's a lot harder when I've got a release coming out. So
Yeah.
consider that one. But usually, if I'm reading a finished series, I'm going to read it the whole way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 90% of my books that I've read are series. Maybe
Yeah.
standalone, or yeah, rarely a standalone. It's mostly a series or like an unfinished series, so it feels
Yeah.
like a standalone.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Would you then DNF a book, or would you push through and get to the end?
Push through. I feel guilty.
Oh, really?
I feel like I'm offending either the author or the characters. Mainly
Yeah.
now that I'm an author, I'm like, no, they need the page reads. They need the income. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have DNF'd a few in my lifetime, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And they have
No.
very valid reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, at the end of the day, not every book's for everyone. And as much as, like you said, you know that the author needs those page reads, does it count if you just flick through to the end of the book? Would that
No,
still?
I think that I don't know. As I understand it, you have to have a right amount of time on a page.
Ah, okay. Okay. What if you're just a really quick reader?
Well, yeah.
Or what if you put the
Maybe
text
not that
like
bad.
really huge, so there's like 2 words on a page, so that it would look like you're reading it? I don't
Knowing
know.
our luck, Amazon would just be like, no,
Yeah,
not
probably
counting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you say then is the most overused or overrated trope that you find in a book?
Probably a miscommunication, which is probably why you hate it so much.
Yeah.
No, I would say miscommunication or I think enemies to lovers. Hear me out. Enemies to lovers, but only because it's very rarely enemies. It's more
Yeah.
like dislike to lovers. So
Hmm.
let's rename it dislike
Yeah.
to lovers. I love a dislike to lovers. I'm a baby. I don't like bullies. I don't like
Yeah.
enemies. I'm just like, let's have
Yeah.
friends. So dislike to lovers is better. Enemies to lovers, is it really? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so much
Yeah.
hate for that.
No, no, literally, pretty much
Oh,
everyone said the same thing as you.
really?
So don't
Oh
worry
wow,
about it
okay.
at all.
Let's
Everyone
change
thinks
it,
the same.
guys. Let's change it.
Exactly. Exactly. What then would you say is your favorite fictional world? Like, if you could go choose to live in any fictional world at all, which one would you go live in?
Can I live in mine?
Yeah,
Um,
okay, if you want.
no, mine or and this is just for the spicy version of myself, but Elodie Hart's Alchemy series.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean that's just a wild dream, but
Yeah.
aside from the fact that they're working in a sex club, it's you know it's a lovely one,
Yeah.
and the characters are all really well written, and they all have such depth. I feel like I could be best friends with all of them. They're such a good friendship group that I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that. So apart from the, sordid side,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I want to
rest
be
of
their
it.
friend. Yeah,
Okay. That's
I
fair enough.
redeemed myself.
What then would you say is your desert island book or series? Because I know you love a series.
I do love a series. Um, it would. I don't know. Um, it might be Legally Binded by Sophie Snow.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be. It probably is Alchemy. I
Yeah.
won't lie. It's my bread and butter. Um, yeah. Which one have I read? The Lily Gold's Why Choose It standalones.
Yeah.
I've reread them a few
Mm.
times, and I think they are a comfort read. So I
Yeah.
could quite happily take one or all of them. They're
Yeah.
separate, so yeah, all of them. I'll take all of them.
Okay. That's fine. I'll let you. I'll let you. It's not a real desert island, so don't worry too much about it. But if you ever do get stuck on one, at least you know what book you'll have with
Yes.
you now.
At least I'll take a Kindle instead of a real book.
There you go. That can count, I
Safe.
guess. So, what would you prefer then, fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Yeah.
Fiction.
Mhm.
Life is too real in non-fiction.
Mhm.
I can't.
Yeah.
No, it's like reading the news. I don't want to do that.
No, no, same. Books are for escapism. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
Finally, then, would you judge a book by its cover?
I mean, it depends what the cover's got on it, but no, I think like I don't have character art on my books, and I
Yeah,
like to think they're still pleasing to the eye, but
yeah,
I think there is a culture right now where books are only worthy or attractive if they've got like a cartoon character art, and they are beautiful, they are amazing, but they also are probably the more expensive ones, and they're not necessarily the most accessible. So
I controversially don't like cartoon covers.
there you
Hate
go.
them.
Not everybody loves
I
them.
think they look childish. That's
There you
what
go. I think
I
some
like
of them
them.
some
No.
of them have their place, but when it's just a character art cover for the sake of trying to get more people,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
I don't think my books, they one's got domestic violence, one's got mental health struggles. Like I don't think there's a
yeah.
place for a character art cover
No,
there.
no.
Whereas if it's like a cute hockey romance, maybe. But
Yeah, I
you know,
guess so. I
it
am
has to
very
fit.
less inclined to pick up a character art, like cartoon character book cover, though.
Yeah,
Not
I
like,
think I've changed. I used to, and
mm,
now I'm like, but what does it suit the vibe? Are you telling me that there's like, I don't know, is it a mafia? Then definitely not. It shouldn't have
yeah,
cartoons on it. It's too dark.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, depends on the vibe.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I get
But
that.
bright colours, they'll wake me up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't judge. I just know what I like. There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, that's fair enough. No, I get that. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you. Tell everyone that's listening then where they can find you on social media and where they can pick up your books. And your second one is coming out very, very soon. So everyone that's listening
Yes.
needs to know where they can get it from.
So you can order right now. Haven on Amazon. There's various independent bookshops that have paperbacks and hardbacks, and I've got them listed on my website. And then um, you've got Roots, which is available for pre-order for the ebook only on Amazon. And then when it comes out, it'll be on Amazon, it'll be on in hopefully lots of bookstores, and it's going to be distributed wider than Haven. Unfortunately, I was one of those people that used Amazon's ISBN. So I'm going to get Haven's paperbacks and hardbacks distributed wider, but right now they're just Amazon or independent bookshops. So yeah, in terms of social media, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. That's it, I think. Facebook, but yeah, Instagram and TikTok are probably no. Instagram and Threads are probably where you're going to find me, and it's
Yeah.
Wren Willoughby writes, just because it alliterates.
Yeah. Love it. Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me today, Wren. It's been so lovely to chat to you about your books. Everyone that's listening, make sure you go follow Wren on social media, specifically Instagram and Threads, if you want to see all the good stuff. And yeah, make sure you're picking up the book when it comes out in a couple of weeks. And yeah.
Of May. 25th of May.
25th of May.
That date there.
Oh my gosh, that's so soon.
It's so soon. I'm so scared.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, it'll be absolutely fine. You've had such good
holiday as well. What a great day
Oh,
to pick
no
a new
way.
book.
Oh gosh, that's funny. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to everyone listening.
Thank you.